Alright guys, without further ado, here in the bottom right hand corner of Lightshade, give it up for the Zerg player. It is DRG. And then the top left in the blue, give it up for the Protoss. It is CREATOR. Alright, so Team Envy versus Team Envy in this best of 5 series. This is, of course, the ITaX Trovo Weekly number 27. And it's going to be interesting to see this. I mean, CREATOR has been showing some really strong play as of late. And we've seen DRG get into this groove where it seems like he is unstoppable. I would love to see more like kind of outcomes between these two. But we'll see what happens in this series. Gateway coming down for CREATOR behind all of this. DRG automatically going for that third base spot, as it was that pesky little probe in his spot at the naturals. So, and I feel like now more than ever, Zergs are just skipping trying to go for that natural and just going straight for the third. Really, it helps them later on getting that natural a little bit quicker. It does suck because, you know, if you are trying to send a queen across or anything like that, it just takes forever because of how slow they move off of creep. And because you're having to sit there and try to connect creep, it's a big hassle sometimes. But for safety-wise, it's, I mean, it's pretty good. 7 score coming down for CREATOR. You have that spawning pool on the way for DRG behind this. Imagine we will see that third base here very shortly. In about the next 30 seconds or so. And CREATOR, of course, taking his own Nexus. Now, we've seen it in a lot of PvZs as of late. It has been this big, like, gateway style that's been very popular. It seems like Zergs, for the most part, have figured this out. But we'll see, you know, where do they kind of want to go from here? Where do they want to play this out? It's been a very much either Adepts or been Stargate. And this time it does look like CREATOR going for that Stargate play. A few Lings are out, going to try to stop this pesky little probe as that third base for DRG is going to be taken. So nothing too crazy, and DRG with the Overlord in position will at least see the Nexus and sees that will be in fact a Stalker on the way. First Adept does come across the map, gonna shade towards the natural, eventually probably go into the main. But with the Queen already in position, we'll force this back. Let's take a couple of pot shots on the hatchery. We'll see him back. Queen here for DRG will go towards the natural and eventually just kind of shut this down, right? We'll force a cancel on the shade and get the Adept back. Oracle on the way for CREATOR. Behind this, should see probably a Void Ray. It's usually the most popular follow-up to this build. The Oracle, though, just staying at home, actually not going across just yet. Gateway is down. I guess expecting a big counterattack, wants to make sure before he goes halfway across the base. So there we go. Right. Lings making the way to the natural here of CREATOR. And CREATOR has this basically blocked off. Shouldn't have any troubles at all. It is going to be a Void Ray follow-up, as we suspected. And the Oracle is going to be going into the main base. Roachborn on the way. Oracle actually going to be able to get a couple of kills here. Very nice. 4, 5. Does he get a 6? He does! Oh, man. Does end up... Oh, just barely making it out alive. 7 drone kills for that Oracle. Not bad at all. But it does look like DRG ready for a little bit of a counterattack. Again, he's got that Roach Warren almost done now. Finally does have the Spore Crawlers coming down. And this looks like it could present some pesky situations for CREATOR. Now, he does have that Void Ray, which is going to be able to kind of help clear up the Lings. Gets a nice surround on the Adepts, actually, and kills those off. Going to get another probe Creator trying to take a third base, but not able to. These Lings just being too much. Eventually, DRG will return back home with those. Blade the Depths is on the way. And, you know, it's kind of interesting, right? We see Creator basically trying to show a fake hand here. Beautiful. Doesn't get anything with the Stasis Ward, unfortunately. But he does kind of give this impression of, hey, I'm going, like, Stargate, you better prepare. But we see him going into Glaive the Depths. Now, the interesting thing is there are roaches going to be on the way here very shortly. A second, did he remake the roach horn? Could have sworn it was almost done. Oh, he made a second one. Okay. I think a little bit of a mistake there. Lings are able to get into the natural for a split second. Okay. It's like, oh god, what happened? What did I do? Here we go. Huge depth push coming across the map now. DRG is making 10 roaches, and he has roach speed on the way. With the addition of the Void Ray and the Oracle, this is a very scary push. DRG only has a handful of Lings right now. He does have those roaches finally popping out, but he needs to be in protection of this. It looks like the Shade is not going to complete as he does continue to push into this. So, this is not looking good right now for DRG. Let's get another block off. The Shades will complete, actually, getting on top of a lot of the drones. Oh no, DRG in some serious trouble. He is going to be able to fend this off for the time being, but 16 drones so far has gone down, and these Adepts still putting on the pressure. Eventually they will back off. The Creep Oracle, though, and the Void Ray still alive in the top, so just going to continue to try to push DRG back and forth and continue to essentially just make him force up his units. He's not going to be as strong as if all of his units were together behind this. He finally has that third base up and running, and it does look like a robotics bay on the way for Creator. Eventually going to be going into probably Disruptors. I guess he could go into Colossus as well, but against this heavy roach style, I don't think you really want the Colossus. Go. Couple of Adepts going to be going back over here towards the third base. Is able to pick off a couple more drones, just setting up for this huge attack. He's got the Immortals, he's got a bunch of Sentries, and some more Adepts. Now, the Queens are making their way across the map. 7 more drones did go down. Holy cow. That looks like now DRG wants to go across. He wants to counterattack, but will this force Creator back? Or will we see him just continue to press in here? He has not seen this as of yet, but now here comes Creator. Okay, it's going to force DRG back. He says, you know, I have to come back and defend this. A nice little Stasis Ward will go down. Kills off the roaches before it goes off. There it goes. Okay. Going to go into the main. Going to be able to kill off the lair. Or excuse me, the hatchery. Trying to macro around as best as possible. Just trying to be sneaky with the Stasis Wards. A couple of Corsa Bows will go down. Shuts on down only a couple of units here, but the Stasis Wards, or excuse me, the Force Fields are going down. Going to be pretty good, keeping DRG on the bottom of the base. Now, he has remade. Not enough, apparently. Spawning down here in the bottom right, in the blue. Give it up for the Protoss. It is Creator. Team Envy. And in the top left, his opponent and his teammates. As the red Zerg pieces give it up, it is Don Ragu. The Ragu of Dongs. Should be a good one. So, already we have a drone making its way across the map for DRG. I was going to say it looks like he might go for a scout, but it is going to be just that third hatch on the way. Obviously, he saw the probe, and again, Dongraegu is one of those players that will just go for the third base. We see players like Rogue do this. I think Dark does it as well. They just, as soon as they're against a Protoss opponent, it's just automatic. That way you don't have any delayed mining time or anything. So, Very good stuff. On the other side, Creator just going for that single gateway opening. We'll see if he goes into an expansion here, but he is saving up for one. It looks like he's going to be just a little bit late on it. That's okay. It's nothing too crazy. There's the cybernetics core, so everything gonna look just fine here for the Protoss. I am curious, does he go into that same style? Like, Blade the Depths worked really, really well against DRG. Even from the early attack, getting 16 workers and just continuing in the face. I almost wonder if DRG were to just go ahead and push in and just did a counterattack, if the outcome would have been different, right? Yeah, he would have lost a lot of stuff in his face, but maybe he would have been able to force at least Creator back home and wouldn't have had to suffer against all of those force fields and stuff. Stargate on the way now for Creator. Just a handful of lings as the third base for DRG is going to be taken, so very similar to game number 1. I am curious, was it a mistake from DRG? We saw him go into double Roach Warren, which really does kind of put him behind, right? In all things considered, like, does he mean to just go for one, or is he trying to go double upgrades really quickly? Maybe I'm just looking too much into it, but I do think that it was a mistake. And do I think it cost him the game? No, I don't. But it is something that you kind of have to take notice and see if he adjusts in the next game. So, additional gateways coming down for Creator. We do have that Oracle on the way. And we will see the Void Ray follow up here. It's really interesting to see how Protoss has kind of evolved, right? Oh, did he double? No, he did. I'm just being silly. I'm a silly goof. So, again, it's interesting to see how they're evolving, right? They've realized that Zergs are able to scout, hey, there's a Void Ray. I need to prepare. I need to be ready for the big Void Ray push going into carriers and all of this. But Creator is now going to go into 3 Stargates. Wow. Protoss in general, though, have become a little bit smarter with it. They kind of throw out like the hook, like, hey, this is what I'm doing. And then they just completely switch it and try to throw off the Zerg. Makes for an interesting time. Creator, though, going to go very heavy into Stargate play. DRG does have a Roach Warren on the way. He is getting additional gas, and he has the layer on the way. Eventually, he could go up to Hydras if he wants to do that, or just go into maybe like Mass Ravager or something. We've seen players do that before. So we'll kind of see where he wants to go. The Stasis Ward does go down in the front, and it is going to be 3 Void Rays at a time here for Creator. Player is almost done. Still got a little bit to go, but it is almost done. He's got all of the gas that he needs to really start banking those up. I wouldn't mind seeing him go into like Spire Tech. We've seen some Zergs kind of use this as a countermeasure of just going up to Spire. It helps unlock those Corruptors for the later tech, as well as opens up a good possibility of just getting damage done. One of the things about this Stargate style from Zergs is just, you know, they do delay a lot of army early on. So if you can attack early enough, if you can get the damage done, they're more focused on that tech and stuff than actually defending, it seems. So there's like a big weakness in the beginning, but if you don't scout it, I guess maybe that's one thing you get kind of shook away from. Infestation Pit is now done, and we should see Hive coming through pretty quickly, which will allow him to go up. Actually, to Swarm Host. Void Ray's going to go up towards the main base. Almost across the map now with this creep. Insane creep spread from DRG. And again, Creator just staying at home, playing defensive. He really isn't trying to scoop back any of the creep. And it's just one of those advantages of actually going for the space first. It's just allowing yourself to be a little bit more aggressive in these attacks. So there we go. Swarm Host on the way. Oracle will actually see this. We'll be able to start getting prepared. Glaives is on the way. And more Void Rays. There we go. Storm Host going to go up top. Is able to get himself on the Stasis Ward. More and more of these delectable goodies. Just going to go straight onto this third base. Void Rays will be able to finally clear this up, but not after the damage has been done. At the same time, though, holy cow, 14 drones do get done across the map. And oh no, the layer almost dead. The Queen's trying to help heal it up. Looks like he will be able to actually get it taken care of. Swarmhost going to return back. And Creator going to at least force a multi kind of position here. Going to not only want to attack across the map, but also have to defend his own base. Behind this, what do we see? Additional gateways. We've got Resonating Glaives about finished up here. And we'll see. I think at some point Creator does want to transition into carriers. But with this constant attack, I mean, do you just kind of have to sit back and worry about this first before you try to transition? I mean, I guess he could go into Glaive to Depths, but... A couple spores are down. Queen's in position. Going to be able to spread creep as well. And really get into the base of Creator. This is just so many. 13 Void Rays. Just an insane number here. Going to be able to clean up the roaches. No problem. Wow. There we go. 4 Locusts going to be coming in here. Just basically 3 units at this point. Gets the overcharged. And yeah, I mean, he's going to be able to clean out a good chunk of the Adepts. Additional Adepts are going to warp in. And with that Glaive finish, it does make it a little bit interesting. Void Rays are going to start getting on top of the Queens, but there's just too many Queens with too much energy. Here come those Adepts. Going to shade in. Trying to get on top of the Swarm Host here. Does he have enough Queens here? Adepts making their way across the map. Roaches, though, in position. We'll be able to kind of clean this out at the same time. We do have more Locusts on the way, but these Void Rays in position. Just going to be able to clean a good chunk of this up before it can really get any damage done. And yeah, I mean, with him just going so much into Void Rays, it's hard to imagine him really losing too much now. Maybe if there's a big attack, it could be a possibility. Transfuses are pretty good. Also, there's shield batteries, so it's kind of like heal on heal right now for both of these players. Oracle doing a pretty good job of just kind of scouting to see where this army is. Adept's going to be taken care of as, again, Creator just trying to get out from his base. Unfortunately, right now, he just doesn't have the opportunity. Protoss do go down, going to force Creator back. Looks like the Swarm Host might try to push in on the other side. A lot of these Ravagers are not able to get the damage done. Just kind of sitting in the back. The Queen's going to slowly start moving forward, as well as the Swarm Host. Protoss will go down, will land on a few of these units. Void Rays trying to do what they can to shut everything down, but the transfuse is looking really good right now from DRG. Creator trying to focus down these Queens. These tanks are just not dying. 7 drones do go, excuse me, 7 probes go down. Protoss will move things back. GG's. There we go. Without further ado, here in the bottom left-hand corner, it's the Blue Protoss. It is Creator. And the top right in the red, it's the Zerg player known as DRG. Go. Juggernaut the next map here. And I'm actually kind of curious how things end up playing out, right? Juggernaut is a pretty big map. Oh, he's going into a fort. Are we seeing some cannons? Some crazy cannon plays. You sneaky little sneaker. Creator going to be going the long way around. Wants to get on top of this third base. I mean, obviously he knows DRG is just going to go straight for that third base location. So if he can somehow get on top of it, he's going to be in a good position. He's going to stay right out of range. Right out of range of that third base. We'll at least kind of delay this. Again, since the probe up top, try to make things look as normal as possible. Sonic pool on the way. DRG doesn't actually scout any of this. And by the time he gets across the map, I don't know if he's going to have enough here. Alrighty, so first cannon is on the way. Looks like he might throw down a couple of more here. Why is he attacking his own pylon? What are you doing, Creator? What are you doing? They're supposed to be attacking the enemy there. Yep. But it's not going to be seen that it is indeed a cannon rush. I'll throw down a couple more cannons just for extra measure behind this. The gateway is down for Creator. On the other side, though, we do see DRG trying to retake this top base. Oh, but the pylon block. There are a couple of lings. Going to get the block once again. So, 4 lings on the way. Bailing nest is down behind this. Ling speed is about halfway done. And he's just going to go across and try to attack. But already we see the cannons there. See the Cybernetics core. And of course he has his own expansion up. It's just kind of unfortunate. It does actually supply block DRG as well. Cannons will just go ahead and rest here for the time being, and actually once the Cybernetics core does finish up, we can see him essentially just start warping in across the map. For the time being, gonna throw down a shield battery. Notice that there is a counterattack on the way. Doesn't know exactly what, but it is going to be bailing to try to crash into this. That could actually get damage done. 6 more lings are on the way as these 6 bailings do finally complete. There's another photon cannon though, so I think he's trying to find where this counterattack is coming from. Let's get brought up. Trying to hide the... trying to hide the bailings. Here we go. Cybernetics core and Hextra gonna go down to block all of this. These bailings just trying to find a way to wiggle themselves in. It's a huge hit. Shuts down the production here of Creator. The bailing's gonna get a nice hit on top of the probes as well. And yeah, I mean, able to clean up a good chunk. It's 10 probes. There's more lings starting to flood across the map. There is at least an attempt to get a sentry in here, but GG's. DRG with the counter push. Spawning down here in the bottom left in the blue, it's the Protoss, it's Creator. In the top right, the Zerg player. In the red, it is DRG. All right, so game number 4. This time, nothing just yet from Creator. Don't think we'll see another cannon rush this game, even though it was pretty good. The counterattack was just too much. DRG able to get the bailing bust and kill everything at that point. Creator going to go ahead and hang out at the front. We'll force another move around to take that third base location for DRG. I think this is like DRG's kind of done the same build every game. Instead of going Roaches last game, he did go into the Bailings, which I think was the right call in all of this. Creator is throwing in different builds. It's really nice to see that kind of flexibility coming out from Creator. Unfortunately, the last game, the cannons didn't work. But maybe he goes into another, like a depth push or something through this. Definitely have to see how he wants to play this out. So Cybernex Court down for the Protoss. Spawning pool coming down. Let's see then. Going into, I guess, what you would consider a normal game. Probe still being annoying here for Creator. But on the other side, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where normally it takes a little bit to see what the Protoss wants to go for. Like, he's going to be going into an adept to go across, put some pressure on. There's going to be some drones coming through, and it does look like Creator wants to at least see, you know, what is on its way. We'll run into a couple of lings and get forced back, but... So Stargate on the way. Does he go into that triple Stargate again? Or is this going to be the fake out we saw in game 1? Lings on the way. Speed almost done for the Zerg, and finally taking a third base. Actually feels like that's kind of late. It's going to be a Void Ray follow-up, so not too bad. He didn't go into Oracle first. Interesting. Already a little bit of a difference. Maybe he goes Oracle after. Depth's just trying to put a little bit of pressure on, keep DRG honest for the most part, but with the extra queens and stuff coming out, shouldn't have any issues with that at all. DRG is now going to see the Void Rays coming through. This can be an Oracle follow-up, and yeah, not bad. Supply box DRG for a little bit, but I think DRG is going to be more than okay. Takes that third base. Creator going to take his own third base though, so that's not bad at all. Yeah, going into the second Stargate, so going to definitely go more into the Void Ray style. It wouldn't surprise me if he does transition into those carriers at some point, but for some reason, Creator has been favoring the Glaive Adepts. I don't know if maybe it's just because he knows DRG's style. I mean, they are teammates. Maybe he knows that DRG's like weak against maybe Glaive Adept timings or something. See, Void Ray is still alive, or excuse me, Oracle's still alive. It's trying to find little damage here and there. Depths, I mean, you're just gonna keep DRG busy, I guess, but layer coming in for DRG. Where does he really go from here? He is gonna throw down a couple of more gas. Maybe he goes back into Roaches, yeah. Gonna go into Roaches. Got the Evo Chambers down for +1. Against all of these Void Rays coming through. And now we have the robotics facility coming down for Creator. Almost feel like DRG needs to just kind of keep some pressure across. Creator is going to be able to come in and get a good scout of what his opponent is doing. Alrighty, so Creator just kind of floating around for the time being. Looks like he is going to go back up and try to kill off a few more drones. Considering most of the army for DRG is up north, near the like third base. Gonna return back. 14 roaches on the way. We do actually have the infestation pit finishing up, so could possibly see another hive timing coming from here. Depth's going to try to shade in towards the natural. Does get the cancels, so not too bad. DRG going back into that swarm host tech. Really seems to enjoy the swarm host against like air army. I guess it's a good thing, right? It really kind of forces the extra units, as it were, for the Protoss to really deal with. And you know, we do have some disruptors on the way. He's adding on additional gateways on Creator's side, but the amount of units right now that DRG has, it looks scary for Creator. Here come the queens. Not as many as before. Creep is not there as well, so these are going to be pretty slow-moving units, all things considered. Trying to transfuse onto the queens. Disruptor's looking for a shot. Miss. He is going to go up towards the natural. Creator does have those disruptors on both sides. Going to get a nice shot on some of the roaches and ravengers. Here comes those swarm hosts. I have to be in the back now. Corsabile's not going to land except for on a couple of his own units. Is able to at least clear out some of the production, but will get forced back. Disruptor is now on cooldown. Going to go for another shot. Does get some big hits onto the queens, and unfortunately he can't go up towards this towards the bases yet. There's still quite a bit of void rays here. Another good coming in. Going to kill off a lot of queens here. DRG not doing the best at this time. Roaches and Lynx going to go towards that third base, but with the void rays just there, and unfortunately the swarm host not able to attack up, he will have to return back home. That does look like Creator going to give chase towards these units. Now it is 102 supply, 274, but a lot of the supply is in those swarm hosts, and there's not a lot of ground units for them to really attack against. He does still have those Ravengers and Lynx going to go across the map. Just because, you know, there's not really anything at home now. I mean, there's a couple of Void Rays and a couple of those juicy disruptors, but... Oh, does not get the kill, but the huge disruptor shot, once again, going to clear out a lot of these roaches, a lot of the Lings. Void Rays coming in, going to be able to clean up the rest of this. And yeah, DRG starting to follow him behind a little bit. He does take a fourth base behind this. His creep is starting to get across the map. But most of the army for DRG is in those swarm hosts. And, you know, I like that he's trying to put some damage somewhere and kind of keep Creator busy. But you need something that shoots up, especially with carriers coming through onto the field. He is making the switch to Hydras. But is it going to be quick enough? Is it going to be all right? He's been taking so much damage to these disruptors as well. It's hard to imagine getting anything done here. So tries to take care of the Nexus. Does not get it, but he does get at least 7 probe kills. But still Creator ahead in workers compared to DRG. He's even got that 4th base up and fully locked down, while DRG's is just now getting ready to finish up. And the thing too is, like, Creator is able to see kind of what is coming out of some of these hatcheries. Is it really tough? Even the Adept, just in the perfect spot. Now making 2 carriers at a time, adding on 2 additional stargates. A Terran brain is kind of ticking right now. disruptors in the shot. We do see those swarms coming through the locust, going to land towards this third one. But oh, there is a stasis ward as well. We'll be able to at least clear up some of the static defense. Another attack down here at the bottom, but oh, huge disruptor shots again. Creator just doing so good nailing those, and will force us back, taking too much damage. That's the thing right now, is like Creator is doing such a good job of defending these and then coming back for an attack. It's making it really tough. There we go, once again. Gonna get a couple of heals. Obviously, shield batteries will help restore all the shields to these units. And yes, disruptor shot does get a connection on one of the queens, but there's still two more disruptors gonna come towards, trying to move back. Takes a little bit more damage than he would have liked. And gonna have to back up once again down here at the bottom. Swarm host will be able to at least get the fourth base and kind of hold things off. Does supply block Creator just a little bit. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna have to hold this back. These disruptor shots though, killing DRG so much. The thing is he hasn't even had to like show off the carriers. He's at what, 6 now? 6, making 4 carriers at a time. Holy cow! If he keeps taking damage like this, I don't know how DRG is gonna survive this. 5th base on the way now for Creator. Yeah, I think he gets it, but yeah, just barely gets it. Bailing speed now complete. +1 air weapons is now done. Makes these interceptors very hard to deal with. The Hydras are trying to help deal with the interceptors. The bailing's not really going to do much except for maybe clear up some of the disruptors, which is going to be nice. He does get 2 of them. That's pretty good, but these Hydras not going to be very well against the carriers. GG's. Game number 5 down here in the bottom left in the blue from Team Envy. It is Creator. And the top right in the red, Team Envy as well. It is DRG. Right. So many good things to be had. Game number 5. Will we see some cheeky plays coming out? We've seen Creator, go into some cannon rush. Seen him essentially go into the same style each game. Excuse me. DRG going into that third base. We've really seen Creator kind of, I want to say, like, take advantage of that. Obviously, once he sees the probe, DRG just goes straight for that third base. So, game number 5. Well, gateway on the way for Creator. We will be seeing an expansion here pretty soon. I am curious, with Creator, we've seen him go into Glade to depths almost every game. Do we see him finish out the series in Glaives? Find out. Hatchery is about done for the Zerg. Us as Overlords are making the way across the map. We'll be able to at least scout kind of the front base area. Next core on the way as the Nexus is down. Does DRG get aggressive? We've really kind of seen him be passive and almost reactive towards his opponent. And obviously with them being teammates, they kind of know each other's style. They've probably practiced with each other a few times. And, I'm kind of interested to see where they want to go with this. Alright, depth on the way. It is going to be Stargate once again. Last game we did see Creator going for the Void Ray first. So, since that kind of turned out really well, it wouldn't surprise me if he does go into that once again. For some reason, DRG just keeps responding to this air army of just going into swarm hosts. And yeah, if your opponent has a bunch of carriers and he's going into like storm or something, I could see those being really useful. But he's going into disruptor, void ray, carrier, throwing in a couple, like 3 or 4 stalkers. You really kind of want to focus on the air army. I almost imagine if he were to go into like mutas or something, go muta carrier, I think he would fare a lot better against this composition. But I guess I see the counterattack potential of the swarm host. But when your opponent gets so high in the carrier like void ray count, it's like swarm hosts kind of don't do it. And it wasn't like he just made a handful and that's all. Like, he kept making more and more swarm hosts. I think by the end of it, he was at like 15 swarm hosts, something like that, which, yes, it was killing bases, but he was also losing a lot of damage to the disruptors and stuff. So it's going to be Void Ray first. Going to be able to at least supply block DRG for the moment. And behind this, third base is taken. As well as we do have that Oracle. We're going to be making its way across. So very much the same as the last game. Oracle and the Void Ray going to be hanging out in the front. You see that Oracle maybe wanting to try to get a couple of kills, but with the Queens already in position, looks like he's only going to be able to get 2. DRG definitely in a lot better position than the previous one. At least more prepared than previous. Already at, what, 6 queens? So, second gateway is going to be coming down on Stargate. They're going to see more of those Void Rays. And again, just wants to go into that heavy Void Ray army. Unfortunate. Oracle is out, though. Still just trying to find damage where it can. Maybe get a couple of tags, if anything. We've seen him use it on Stasis as well. Some of the drone lines. So maybe he can do something with that. But with as many queens that are out as DRG has, it's just one of those things. I don't think he's going to get too much. Cancels the shade. And right now, really for Creator, it is just more about keeping his opponent at home behind this forge and the robotics facility. But DRG is going into a Hydralisk Den. He does have that Baling Nest down. Does he just skip Swarm Host altogether and go into like Mass Hydra? I know that a lot of Zergs were starting to do this. I don't know if it's going to work though, because we are going to start seeing that Robotics Bay. And behind this, eventually, we're going to get the Disruptors. And Creator's Disruptor control is just really, really good. But DRG has been showing some strength here. This creep spread is so crazy. The thing, too, is, like, Creator hasn't been really pushing it either, but when you just let DRG just spread creep how he wants to, I mean, it's only 6.5 minutes in and it's already almost to the base of Creator. That is just insane. So many Hydras on the way. He's at 11 Hydras with 7 more on the way, so he's going to be up to 20 very, very soon. Queens coming in, Lings as well, morphing into Baling, so wants to make sure that he gets on top of everything. There are some Disruptors on the way. There's one on the way right now. So he has an opportunity to attack before that comes about. Here come the Baling, so going to crash right into some of the shield batteries and stuff. Just trying to eliminate any kind of healing potential. Going to get on top of the probes as well. The Hydra's going to get on top of everything. Overcharge has happened. Here come the Disruptors, though. Does get 4 more Hydras. These Queens, though, transfusing, starting to run out of energy as more Hydras are coming through. The Link's going to try to help out as well. That overcharge finally does shut down. We'll see DRG back up for the time being, healing himself back up. More Banelings are on the way. The Hydra's trying to get on top of the Void Rays, but now there's 2 Disruptors out. Gonna get on top of the Banelings, clears them out. GG's. And Creator will take the series.